Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Energetics. What are we calling this, Becky?
Oh, I don't know. Chats with Sarah and Becky, maybe. I don't know. We
The
don't even
Sarah,
really have a plan.
right? The Sarah and Becky show, the
Yeah.
shit show. Let's just be honest. This
Yeah.
is going to be real and raw today. This is where we're at. If you are like many of the people we've both spoken with, including ourselves, this week, things are just all over the place, energetically, emotionally, physically. Every person I've spoken to is going through some kind of mini or macro crisis. And the theme that's coming up is just complete emotional overwhelm. And as we circle out of or cycle out of this year and into the year of the horse, it's like this last little drudging through is bringing everything up and with an insane force. Like this is stuff that we've suppressed for years that is kind of coming back up to the surface. And I don't know. I know I'm feeling it. I was in the depths of it Sunday, Monday, and Becky, you were just sharing that you're in it too. And so I thought maybe today we were just talking, Becky and I, before we hit record about just how we're so tired.
Yeah.
Just so tired. We did a little bit of fascia toning and stretching and threading, and it really helped with the tension in the neck and head. But as you move your body and as you release and shift the tension, it does bring that wave of ease, which just adds to the fatigue a little bit more. So, yeah, let's just be very brutally honest. How are you feeling today? I know
Today, tired.
yeah.
Just tired, really anxious. Chest is really tight today. I don't know what's going on. I think this is day 7 of crying and releasing. It could be a combination of what's going on astrologically. It could be as well as uh, the beautiful hormonal stage I'm at the moment. Beautiful perimenopause. I don't want to say the word or put a label on it, but yeah, it's just been emotionally raw, yet feeling comfort in knowing that it is what it is. I don't feel the need right now to in the past I've needed to know the why, the what's going on, the that kind of thing. And I'm able to at this point, which is kind of cool, be able to just kind of step back and truly observe where I'm at, and just kind of let it happen and fully trust, or I don't mean fully, let's be honest, but I'm working towards that fully trust of what's going on and knowing that it is the final push.
Mhm.
Like my intuition and my higher self has been giving me those beautiful, gentle images and nudges of that gentle, okay, we're gonna push through, or not so gentle, let's be honest, like you and I were just saying.
Mhm.
Not so gentle push of, okay, this is like the last leg here before we go, because I know I can feel what's behind it, and it's pretty awesome. Um, it's just not meeting everything that I'm going through with resistance and just kind of trying desperately to allow it to come through
Yeah.
or release or move through rather. So,
Yeah, it sounds like you're in this space of surrender to what's bubbling
yeah.
up and just allowing it to be rather than dissecting it like we've been taught to do. And especially as part of that healing journey is dissecting and having discernment about what's arising and why, that big question, why is this happening? Or why am I feeling like this? Where is it stemming from? Where in my body am I feeling it? Instead of really intellectualizing it and getting curious, it's now the time for just simple observation and surrender.
Yeah.
Oh, this is here. Okay, let's breathe through this. Let's,
Yeah.
this is allowed, these tears are allowed to flow. This thought is allowed to move through my head. It's not going to stay here.
Yeah.
but it can go through. And I think that's a really powerful message and shift, right? It's also, I feel like for me at least, and I feel like I can say this confidently for you too, it's really, dare I say, unnerving to be in that state. It's like this
It's,
tug of war almost.
yeah, yeah, because for me, it's kind of like the first time I've actually truly witnessed where I was and allowing that flow. For me, part of my healing has been letting go of control
Mm.
as my throat chakra clears.
I feel like I get
Uh,
those eyes of like, you too, Sarah.
well, yeah, there's that too, but
But yeah, like letting go of the control, right? Like you're,
it's letting go of the control of what's happening, why, all of that kind of stuff, and really truly surrendering. I think I'm just, I feel so worn down of that resistance. Like I'm tired of like trying to swim upstream. I'm just like, fine, I get it. I have heard the message over and over and over and over and over for years of you got to let go, let flow, let the universe take you. They've got your back, all of that. But now I like I'm done.
yeah.
And it's not a give up. Like it's not like I'm done on a puddle on the floor, although some days, yeah, for sure. It's a fine. I'm letting go. I trust you. And yeah, it's been pretty cool. My intuition is a little stronger, like when it comes to myself. My intuition for others has always been far stronger than it has for myself. Um, I shouldn't say that. I'm able to hear and listen to the intuition for others better than I am for myself. But that is shifting as well. Truly, I guess the meaning of looking after me is shifting as well. It was, and I know for many it's the same. It's been a almost a selfish thing where it feels selfish to be looking after you or yourself or whatnot. But that's shifted for me as well. Like I'm understanding on a different level why and what that means as well. You and I were talking before as well, and setting those personal boundaries and discovering what those actually are and fully embracing the flow of those too, that they can shift and change. And yeah, I feel like I'm kind of taking over here, but yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, and it sounds like too, like I love how you mentioned that ebb and flow of the boundaries. And
Mm,
even what's true to us in this moment may not be true to us in a week's time, but honoring where we're at right now and allowing ourselves to set those boundaries and recognize these patterns and cycles that are being uplifted into our awareness, and knowing that just because the pattern is stemming or coming back up doesn't mean that it's like the exact same pattern, right? We can have
yeah.
similar experiences and it doesn't mean that they're the same or that the same outcome is going to happen. So really allowing ourselves to move through the fear and the freeze. Because I find for myself, especially if something 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 is coming up that's reminding me of a similar situation, it's really easy to just
Yeah.
paint it as the same. So it's like it's
Mm,
really uncomfortable
yeah.
to let go of that control and to allow yourself to remember that, remember what you've been through and what you've learned from that, but also know just because it's coming up again doesn't mean it's the same circumstance, it's not the same person, hopefully, that is bringing the situation back up into play. So it's never going to be exactly a duplicate of what you've come through before. So it's using that knowledge and that understanding and those regulation pieces for our nervous system to really move through with a little bit more ease. And and having that courage, like you said, to set those boundaries and saying that next hardest thing is sometimes the best way to do that, right?
Yeah.
Speaking from the heart, speaking the truth with someone who it's safe to do so with is, in my experience, always leads to a beautiful breakthrough, right? The beauty in the breakthrough is what I like to call it because it always leads to fruition in some capacity.
Yeah. And it's like healing the nervous system too, pushing through that, healing the nervous system, rewiring the situation that caused that reaction or that trigger, right? And um, yeah, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. The other thing that I found is coming up lately is just nightmares. I know you and I have spoken about this,
Mhm.
but I've had a few others who've been had actually a conversation today that they were talking about nightmares. And one of the things that's coming up within those nightmares is it's almost like, the veil is so thin that these nightmares or premonitions, maybe even, are really hard to discern whether they're happening awake or asleep.
Yeah.
For some people, I know myself, my dreams have been leaning to the edge of premonition where I'm waking up with a list of things that I need to gather to prepare. And for me, that's always been a premonition. That's generally when I get a list, it's generally when I know something is trying to keep me safe or prepare me for
Mm.
what's to come. And the thing to note there is that what is showing up in the dream isn't always what's actually going to happen literally.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could be a metaphor for something coming up. So just being prepared for
Yeah.
for those things. So having that those dreams and having that ability to kind of dissect and reminding yourself not to take them literally is super important, but it's also super disruptive to be having these dreams and people that um are in our fields are experiencing this like never before.
Yeah.
And people who are not in this work, clients and just random people I'll be talking to in the arena will be like, yeah, and like the dreams I've been having lately are wild. And so I feel like this is a collective energy that's kind of come to the surface and the veil is thinning really fast. And I
Yeah.
think this is something that I think there's been foreshadowing for a very long time, whether you're looking at religious texts or psychic texts or whatever you want to look at. This has been foreshadowed for a very long time. But I feel like we're at this pivotal point where that veil is thin and those dreams are something to also pay attention to, but know that disruptive sleep is something that's really happening right now.
Yeah, for sure. Um, because there's so much going on in the world, right? And it's well, going back to that collective energy, right? It's so heavy and it's so scary in some parts of the world. Well, in all parts, really, just
Mhm.
whether or not we're actually experiencing it or not. It's the tragedy, the all of it. I try not to lean into that too much. Just send as much love as I can for those who need it, and do what I can. But yeah, with the huge shift, again, I think I talked about it a bit on the last time we chatted, but just that huge shift in the dark cloud, right? Like looming over us. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's like a collection of as we purge and as I don't know what you want to call us, light workers, healers, whatever we are. Um, as we heal and strengthen and grow, which I think a lot of us are being called to do right now, um, redefining that self-care for ourselves. It's almost like it's the way they're showing it to me is it's like we're releasing more into that storm cloud, right? So I think like many things as we're cleaning, things tend to get a bit worse before they get any better. And I think we're kind of we're that's what we're doing right now.
We're in the stage where we're organizing the cupboards, but all the Tupperware, everything's out all over the island, all over the floor, and we're
Yeah.
standing in the kitchen being like, what did I get myself into? Right?
Yeah, but
And
I
it's
think that's the human collective, right?
absolutely,
Like what the
absolutely.
hell's
We're
going
like,
on?
where are we? What is happening? And I think
Yeah.
to keep in mind too, in order for any change to happen, for order in order for any growth as a species to happen, there needs to be some kind of disruption. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing we're going through, but I'm saying it's very real what's happening right now. And we are in the disruption right now, and it might get worse. But to keep in check the fear, right? To monitor where that fear is showing up and allowing yourself to step away from sources of that fear. What's harvesting your fear?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Are the social media is the news. Like where are you having these inputs come into play? Is it a coworker who just won't stop talking about the same thing over and over again with regards to what's happening in the world and that's frying your nervous system? Can you put a boundary up there that kind of respects you both and allows you to have that peace of mind so that you can control when you choose to input those pieces from a place of groundedness where we're not going to be overrun and
Mm.
move into that state of fight or flight with what's the word I want to use? Not naiveness, but anyways, we're consciously aware of what we're inputting so that we
Yeah.
can then discern and react, not and respond with clarity and awareness. Because I feel like even if you're in the grocery store right now, you're getting bombarded by people talking about things, you're getting bombarded by magazines, like all the things are just seem to be amplified. And so just eliminating whether it's the radio, whether it's something within your own specific bubble that you can eliminate that stress just a little bit would be beautiful. And for me lately, I've noticed that like Facebook and social media, like Instagram and things, I'm spending so much less time on it because it's just overrun with arguments of one side and the other side. And it's like, let's just sit here and hold this collective for a moment and recognize that two things can be true based on who's sitting on what side or what their perception is. Doesn't mean they're both right, doesn't mean they're both wrong, but let's just allow ourselves to have that humanity to sit
Mm.
with each other for a moment and recognize what's here, your own viewpoint, hear others. Um, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's just like there's so much, and it's definitely going to infuse into your dream world, into that subconscious. And so
Yeah.
I want to circle back to dreams because I think the one piece of dreams is being able to discern what sometimes they are. So, so like I said, with mine, I get lists, and that's my premonition. That's where I need to pay attention to. But sometimes we have things like animals in our dreams, which is kind of cool. You know, it's always interesting. I've had dreams where I've been floating in clear water, and the water is icy cold, but it's clear, right? So it's like what am I thawing out? There's this calmness that's going to be more accessible in the future, is my interpretation of that. Do you have anything that you'd like to kind of share with us right now about dreams? Because I know we go back and forth about our dreams quite frequently. And
Yeah. Um, like I mean, they can tell us so much too, right? And it takes practice, but I've been able to slowly, I'm getting better at discernment as to what is a message, we'll say, and what is part of being caused from personal human stuff rather than the collective energetic stuff. So, um, yeah, it's interesting. There's usually themes that you can tell, but I always tend to pay attention. I'm getting better at remembering my dreams. Usually, if I can't forget it, I'm like, all right, let's look into this a bit. And if it keeps playing out on in my brain, then I'm like, okay, like, what do you mean by this? What happened before this? What am I to take away from this? Um, and like you said too, it's never just necessarily as literal as what your dream is, but sometimes
Mhm.
um I've come to have common themes pop up, and that's when I know that the one is I'm feeling insecure about a certain situation. So something happens in my dream, and I'm like, oh, okay, we got to address this. I'm feeling insecure about that, and how can I help that part of my life? So the ones I really, 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 really pay attention to at the moment, because it doesn't happen often, is when my mom pops into my dreams, because she tends not to. She shows up other ways, but if she's coming to me in my dreams, I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm not listening to her other
Right?
messages.
Oh,
So,
shoot. Sorry, Mom. I see
yeah.
you. I hear you.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Start listening.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't it funny how, even when they're not physically here, they can still
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
still still
She
give you that
still gets
slap
me
on
in
the
my,
hand. It
oh
never
yeah.
ends. It never ends,
No,
right?
no, no. Once a parent, always a parent,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what side of the earth you're on. So whether you're on the earthly plane or the other side, but um yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting for sure.
I think one tool that we can use when it comes to dreams, and especially if you're having a lot of stress dreams like we're speaking on, is
Mm,
being a pen and paper beside your bed and jotting down things, especially if you wake up and you're like, oh,
yeah.
write it down. You will not remember it in the morning to the capacity which you would have in that moment. So write it down. I have a section in my phone on my notes app, and I'll just pick up my phone and I'll just write down, sometimes with my eyes closed, but I try really hard to write down every single detail. And again, in the morning, sometimes I'm like, I have no clue what I wrote down, but a lot more times than not, I can decipher what it is. And those are the dreams that actually tend to stay with me in the patterns. If you wake up and you think that you should write this down or you want to remember it, and you're like, I feel like I really want to remember this or I should, that is your sign to write it down because it's 9 times out of 10 a message.
Mm,
There's
yeah.
something there.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
writing them down, if you get dates, colors, like like if you can feel in your dreams, if you're doing really vivid dreaming, you can have like temperatures, write all as many details down as you can. Or if I tend to meet a lot of people in my dreams that I have no clue who they are. I never really dream about anyone, not too often anyways, that I know on this plane. It's I always am meeting new people, but sometimes they feel like people I know. So it's like a soul remembrance or a soul energy that I'm feeling, like, say, talking to you, Becky, and you might not appear as yourself, but I can feel that it's you. So I'll write those things down. Animals are a big messenger in dreams. So just being able to write those down is a huge thing as well. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about with you too is something that we've had come up really a lot is like navigating this time with our kids, with kids in general right now. I keep getting emails from school. I see it on social media, like the school social media page, emails about kids not wanting to go to school. It seems to be amplified, or there also seems to be like the kids are having a lot of dreams as well. The kids are not immune to the collective energies either. So it's also having that compassion for our kiddos as well is really important right now. To a
Yeah.
capacity. We don't let them we don't let them
Yeah. There's a fine line,
there's a
right?
very
But
fine line.
it's that compassion, and I struggle sometimes because I'm going through it too, to remember that they feel it. It's not just me. It's as much as I know that as you're raising them, you forget that they feel it probably more than we do, because they haven't been told not to yet, or less. And yeah, it's the struggle's real, right? Like we have two of our kiddos that are very much aligned. So it's almost like if I know my one is acting a certain way, it's almost like yours is pretty much doing the same thing, right? And it's,
And I'd say it's more like both of those children are very intuitive
yes,
to energies of
yeah,
this world.
yeah,
And so sometimes I find that they feel it the day before. We're like, whoa, what is this?
yeah,
Okay, I understand this a little bit more. Um, but yeah, like, and I feel like their felt sense, children's felt sense is so much more raw, like you said, because they haven't been told to dial it down yet, or as much as what we have in our
yeah,
ears. And so it's going to come out, and the only ways they know how, they don't have that regulation piece yet. They're still navigating that. Plus, they have all these new hormones maybe that they're moving through. So it's like it's having that compassion and asking questions. I find being curious about what they're feeling and opening the door for different things, whether it's I'm feeling like A, B, C, or D, or I'm hearing or I'm dreaming of, or I went when we were in the grocery store, I heard people talking about this, or is it true? Like they're hearing, seeing, and sensing so much.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I find we as adults are way more preoccupied
Yeah.
with we have a lot, especially as parents, and specifically women, not all women, but many of us women, we're holding the mental capacity a lot more than our partners. So, we're distracted, unfortunately, in some capacity where we're almost like numbed out a little bit to some of the things that they're experiencing until we actually have the moment to sit and
Hmm.
feel and navigate that with them. And so just like circling back to the school thing, like having if they're at their wit's end, right? Like just as a we have to recognize how we feel when we're at our wit's end. Do we really have the capacity to go sit in school?
Yeah.
But,
You have to be careful. I
right?
know. Both of us have to be careful
But
because we have very smart
we
children
do.
as
They're
well.
geniuses. And it's
Yeah,
always the same day for those two, which is
it
interesting.
is.
We
That
can,
they also know that they can feel us as well, right? So we're
exactly,
like, ooh, mine's like, ooh, mom's like a little edgy. Let's play on our emotions a little bit,
right?
right? To manipulate the system. And they know.
Well,
It's really tapping into your own intuition as well as a mom or parent for that matter and going, all right, like, are you actually sick or are you just bullshitting me because you don't want to go?
right. Well, and the other place I've heard about this is with the younger kiddos too. I've had a lot of parents come in with their kids, and we've been speaking on how the little kids have been picking up on their friend going through something. So then they're taking it
Yes.
all on, and then they're
Yes.
acting out, or they're feeling really emotional, or they don't want to go to school because they're so sad, but there might not be a physical reason in the home or anything.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where the other piece is like sometimes when friends are going through big things and you have a really intuitive or sensitive child, they can take that on as well. And so not just
Yeah.
our stuff, they might be carrying their friends' stuff, but also having that capacity to talk it out, being aware of it, but not letting them, you know, snowplow you over, right?
Absolutely, right? It's finding that fine line of trying to honor everything that they're feeling and going through, teaching them how to deal with that. I mean, I'm 47, almost not yet, 47 years old, almost 47. I gotta stop saying I'm 47, almost 47, and still trying to well, I think we talked about this the last time too, is removing what's not mine, right? Like trying to discern what's mine and what's not.
Mm.
So trying to teach them that as well, going, I love your compassion for your friend or whatever's going on, but we can't hang on to it. And sometimes it's not ours to fix because I'm still struggling with that too, right? So I'm kind of trying to teach them at the same time how to be all of those things as well. The compassionate friend, the um yet at the same time not carrying it, right?
Yeah,
So, and sometimes they don't even know they're carrying it, like you were
absolutely.
saying, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
I
teaching
find,
them to say, sorry to interrupt
no,
you
you're
there, but
good.
trying to teach them to release what's not theirs.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that a little bit more. What's a tool that you teach your kiddos to do that, to not carry what's not theirs or to discern?
I think it's essentially the same process that I do, right? Like taking a big deep breath, asking the universe to remove what's not mine. Just chatting with them about the situation and going, that's really cool that you're, especially my one boy, he's so compassionate and he takes on so, I mean, they all are, but he just takes on everything of everybody's and he worries about it. Um, so it's just talking him through the situation and letting him know that. there's only so much we can do. And he has his own process. He's got to work it through his head, but sometimes it takes days.
Mhm.
Um, but also kind of getting him to, now that we've had a few cycles of this, he's starting to notice his tells when he's taking on too much of somebody else's stuff. So his body is starting to physically react to certain things. Um, so just kind of making him aware of that. And the first couple of times, of course, I'm mom and I don't know anything, but now it's getting to the point where it's just like, oh, maybe you do know something. Maybe I am hanging around. Surprise. Maybe I am
Go figure.
hanging
Mom
around.
knows a thing or two.
Yeah, yeah, just like a couple things.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love that. And I love to when my kids were little, we would use the color method. What color
Mm,
are you feeling right now? Where is that
yeah,
color in your body? Can we shake that color out? Right? Or let's do some breathing. Let's hop on the spot. Let's beat up the pillow. Has
yeah,
that color changed within you? How are we, and
yeah.
then it usually brings
Interesting as you
energy.
say that, my eyes start to, anyway, uh-huh.
And then the other thing I do, and I just taught one of mine this, they're at the age where they're actually pretty receptive, which surprised me to this, is using that human pendulation.
Yeah.
Is this mine? Is this theirs? I have one that has a really tough time making a decision, especially
Oh,
when overwhelmed, especially when there's a lot of emotions at play. And so what we've done is we've used the body as a human pendulum. And what we do is we take a deep breath and we just exhale. However, they want to exhale at that time. We press into our feet, wiggle our toes, get grounded, right? Wiggle your toes. And then we take a breath in and we let those shoulders come up to the ears and we squeeze. And then we exhale and drop the shoulders down. And then we ask our body to show us a yes, and we notice if it pulls back or is it moving forward. Maybe it's moving to one side or the other. And then we take a breath and we give a wiggle again. And then we wiggle our toes to ground back into the ground. And then we ask our body to show us the opposite. So if it was a yes the first time, we ask a no the second time. And then it could be a simple question like, should I have Cheerios? My body just went like, no. But it allows them to have that extra layer. Is this mine that I'm feeling?
mhm.
Yes. No. Right? Is this dream really going to happen? Like there's
Yeah,
so many different questions and different
yeah,
ways you can use that tool. So I like to bring that tool in, especially at the teen tween age, because it's something too that even as an adult I use pretty much daily. And you can do it with testing your foods, testing your vitamins, things like that. So that's a tool that I love to use because, kiddos, I find when you can have that visceral action or response to something, when you can get them moving and allow them to take control in some way, it seems to really, like, again,
mhm.
might fall on deaf ears like the first 5,000 times, but that one time
Always.
where it hits,
Yeah,
they don't seem to
yeah,
forget it. So being able to do that, and even I'll see one of my kiddos play a sport, and I'll know they'll do a breath because they'll bring their shoulders up and then they'll drop their shoulders. And I'm like, I know what you just did. You just
yeah,
grounded yourself. And then I'll
yeah,
get like a little glance up to the stands, and I'll be like, good. Then they'll be
yeah,
like, oh my gosh, you totally saw that. Damn it.
right?
But it's a good tools to have because our kids, like you said, Becky, our kids sometimes feel a lot of what we're feeling. So keeping ourselves in check and having those
Yeah,
boundaries and just being raw with what you're feeling and having those journals or feeling it through
yeah,
is super important. And it's also important to integrate those practices into the teachings of our kiddos and our youth because they're not immune to what's going on in the world right now.
no, not at all. Another couple things as you were talking too is movement. My one boy does it automatically. He has to release something pent up inside of him, whether it's nerves before a hockey game, whether it's whatever, it's physical. He's either screaming or making silly sounds, or he's running around the house, causing havoc, um, picking on his brother, whatever, but he needs to physically get it out. So when I start to notice that, I'm like, go do something. Like, we're fortunate enough to have an outdoor rink right now. I'm like, go skate, go shovel the driveway, go do something, like release this. It's usually when he gets home from school because he's had to contain himself. But yeah, it's like, okay, like do something here, right? And then the other one I suggest too, because I have to be sneaky about it sometimes because they're like, yeah, well, like we were saying, yeah, yeah, whatever, mom. So I don't necessarily talk about it in energy, but to them sometimes, but I'm like, go have a shower. For
Yeah.
me, water is a good release. It's a good reset. It's a good all of that kind of stuff too, like a good cleansing.
Mhm.
And they're
Very
boys, so they're
grounding.
gross. So
Yeah, right?
they probably need another shower. So
Never hurt anyone.
yeah. And so that's the other thing. So physical movement and water, whether it's a bath, whether it's a shower or whatever. So
Do you know what's interesting? I remember I used to work in a nursing home and a retirement home, and when I was expecting my kids, they would always say, the seniors would always say, here's a tip that I learned from my mother. If everything's going to, hell in a
yeah.
handbag, if everything is just being uprooted and there's so much dysregulation, water or nature, either get outside or get
Yes.
to water.
Yes.
And as an
Nature.
adult, that still is true for me, for my kiddos. And so that's the one thing. And how powerful is that, right? Get into the elements, right? Get into the
Yeah.
elements. Let yourself ground back in and connect with this earth. And I think that's just the most amazing thing, whether it's snow, whether it is skating on the ice, whether it is sitting in a warm bath, hopefully
Yeah.
a shower, something like that. Um, I'm laughing because I'm just remembering that my kids had a water fight in my house last night, to which I was like, "Do you guys sort this out?" Because they were laughing. I knew they were dysregulated. They were re-regulating, and it
Yeah.
wasn't making a big mess at all because they were
Yeah.
shooting themselves in the chest with it. So, not that I need to explain, but sometimes that play and bringing that joy in with the elements, whether it's skating, is really important too, and having fun and
Yeah.
letting them be kids and letting yourself be a
Absolutely.
kid. Let yourself be a kid. Be silly. Have
Yeah.
fun. Integrate play. We don't have to be all wound up all the time. And that's something that I've just recently been trying to integrate more. I used to be so wound up, and I think that's part of living is and regulating your nervous system is being silly. Be silly.
Yeah. It gets your body moving too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Laughing, it's just that good release. So,
Sometimes it's sending your best friend silly memes on Instagram. Get the belly laughing going. Right?
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So if nothing else from
Yeah.
today, the energy of the collective right now is completely chaotic as expected with what's moving through. So nightmares right now, decreased sleep, anxiety, worry, digestive issues as well seems to be
Mm,
really fluid right now. Irritability, just crying. These are all things that are kind of coming up. And again, we're completing that big cycle and moving into the year of the horse. So we are doing that final shed. And it's all those things I find right now, it's all those things that you've really shoved in the back of the closet or like dug into a hole are coming back up.
yeah.
And just allowing that space to really move through it.
Yeah. So like don't be surprised if all your systems are like releasing all at once, right?
Yeah.
Like your colds, your upset stomachs, your all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find I'm really picky with what I want to eat right now too, right? Like there's certain things my body wants and doesn't want. And so,
And even the clothing right now too.
yeah.
I'm feeling like I just want to wear like baggy clothes. I do
Yeah.
not want anything constrictive because I feel like the energy is constricting enough right now. So
Yeah.
listen to what you need and honor that is going to be the greatest tool I think that you can have right now. And then when it comes to like dreams and kiddos, again, it's just allowing them to have that space to process using some of those tools, the human pendulation, the movement, the water, all things.
Mhm.
And if you ever want to learn more, or if you have a kiddo that could use a little bit of more support, or you yourself, Becky and I both see clients on one-to-one basis, we can definitely connect with you and see if you're a good fit for what we offer. And if not, we can hook you up with someone else that's going to be a fantastic, fantastic match because as humans and as light workers, intuitives, energetic practitioners, we know that not everyone's a good fit for everyone. So we want to be very honest and we're not going to waste your time there. So that I think is all for today. If do you have anything like any like closing? I can see the wheels turning.
No, I was just going to say we see
Yeah.
people in person and virtually, right? So
Yes,
it
we
doesn't matter where you
do.
are.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had clients all over. And I almost find that online sessions, it almost opens a door. It's
Mm.
almost like having a huge antenna open, and
I
that
was going to
radio
say a
station is
conductor, right?
vast,
Mhm.
right? So it's almost as if they go far more intuitive than in person, because in person sometimes we close up and we clamp up, where when we're in the comfort of our own home, it's just like so open and vast. So if yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I can talk about that. That's a whole nother ta tangent. Maybe we'll go into that another day about virtual versus in-person sessions. But yes, anyways, I hope that you have got something out of our conversation today. Tea with Becky and Sarah chats, whatever we're
Yeah.
calling this.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
Beck and Sarah show. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let
That's
us know
that's
what you
good.
think we should call these
Yeah.
episodes. But have a beautiful day. Stay cozy and take care.